Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Okay, so today's Friday, and what I thought is we'll go into the deep mine tomorrow, just like the top level, because I really do need to start getting some ruby shards up again, other than the ones that I've got in this chest here, because they're just for the undergrowth trips. What am I doing? This is what I'm doing. So I think I don't think I'll need like the extra food. And then I think on Sunday we'll go to the island. Cause well, I'm pretty sure I need sorry. I'm pretty sure I need the chairs and everything, the beach chairs and the umbrellas because I use them so much in my builds. Let's see. Yeah, see, I need these. And like I'd feel a lot more comfortable if I had more umbrellas around. So oh, and probably ow. Just rub my eye now, something's in my eye. Ow. Um Probably like the chests themselves, you know. So I'm really just looking for more of the what do you call them? The slingshots, the better slingshots. So we're gonna go in here and I'm gonna just take off my hat. That away, that away. Okay. Doop. Take those down. That down. Keys. That. I don't need any shards because it's not that type of mine. Grab out my helmet. With 5, because I'm pretty sure 5 is enough. Yeah. Yeah. I went around and collected up a lot of the bugs that I have just lying around the world, and I sold them because I just don't need them. The only thing I kept was some of the queen bees. I forgot it was gonna rain today. I was so confused then. That's fine. We don't need to see him. I don't know why I'm looking at that. Oh man. Okay. So it's back on peaceful mode, so I shouldn't have to worry about anything attacking me. We will eat some of this for mining purposes. I really just need shards. Ooh, hello. What is that? Behind here? Because that's all I really need. I don't need ores. Definitely got enough ores. Oh. Paint remover. I'll take that and that. So we're going to treasure rooms because they oftentimes have shards in them. So we will use that to our advantage for sure. Oh. We'll take these to sell. Oh. Okay. I decided to do this because yesterday Connor and I drove down to Brisbane, which is a 3-hour trip. For did they drop a wing? Oh no, I thought I saw it hovering there. Because we know the guy who had to go to the hospital for a procedure, and the workplace health and safety officer refused to take them because she didn't want to be there, because she didn't want to be away from her husband for that long. And I was just like, okay. So they're like, we'll pay Connor for your normal shift, but you'll take him down to Brisbane. And they told us, oh, he has to be there by 12:30. So, oh, nope. So we got up at like 7 a.m. and got ready. Left town at 8:30 a.m. Drove all the way down. We were there with traffic and everything. We were there by... Okay, it's like a war zone down here. Oh my gosh. We were there by 11:45, and by the time we found a park, because that took 15 minutes, searching through all 4 of the hospital car parks. By the time we did that, so we got him to his appointment with half an hour to spare, and then we went off and did some stuff because there was no reason for us to just hang around. Oh, nice. This is what I was looking for. Okay. So we went around and did some stuff because we thought, oh, we'll just walk around and, by the time we get back... Are they dropping wings anywhere? No? Man, that would be helpful if they were. By the time we get back, he'll be done, and we'll basically just have to wait, like, maybe half an hour for him to, like, be lucid enough for them to go, okay, he's safe to travel, we're not worried about him. No, we were walking back. Oh, I really don't need meat, actually. We were walking back. So we'd already been and done what we had to do, which took 35 minutes to walk across from one end of town to the other. And, like, it's a city, so it's not like just, 5 minutes. 35 minutes. We walked across a river, for crying out loud, the Brisbane River. Went to our engagement and walked back. Now, bear in mind, I'm not a fast walker. I'm definitely not a fast walker. So it's not like we were, like, running across. So, we probably were gone. I think it was like 2 p.m. by the time we got back. So, we were gone for 2 hours. As we're walking back, he's texting us and saying, oh, they're telling us it's going to be 6 p.m. And we're like, what? And then... Like, it's not even that we got held back. It's the fact that we even had to go in the first place anyway. But... I don't know. I just... So, anyway. So, he didn't come out from his operation. Now, bear in mind, the operation is a 10-minute thing. They were removing a rod from his finger after an incident at work. So, they were removing a rod. That's all it was. They were just supposed to pull it out and then make sure he was, didn't have any side effects from being under anesthetic and all that. And then we were just going to be good to go. So, we thought we'd be home like 5 o'clock. No. He didn't even come out from his surgery to go until 5:30. So, I can't see anything there. We ended up... Ooh. Nice. Not gonna complain about that. We ended up getting home almost 9 o'clock at night. I think it was like, by the time we arrived back at our house after driving, like dropping him off, it was just before 9, and we had dinner at 9 o'clock. And then just like collapsed into bed. This way, I think. This should just lead straight back. Maybe. Ooh, I'll take the flame sack though. Thank you. And then of course we woke up this morning and had to do our normal, like, you know, your weekly errands that you had to run around town. So we got up again and did all that. And then we came home for lunch and both of us are just like, I'm so sleepy. Just the exhaustion of that trip. So it ended up being over 12 hours for a trip that was supposed to take maybe 8. And so it's had an impact on us today, that's for sure. Where's something else? Is there anything else around? No, it doesn't look like it. We're just gonna have to keep walking around then, eh? That's fine. But, yeah, that's... I was like, I already had to miss a day of recording, because Connor's... He says I won't be able to navigate it without you, like, looking at the phone and helping me. And I'm like, okay, that's no problem. You know, it's just one day I can catch up on my recording. So I was already one day behind in my recording. And then I've woken up today and I just feel like absolute poop. Like, I'm exhausted. And Connor's gone to work today and I'm just like, do you have to stay home and be with me? And I was like, I better go record then. Since he's going to work, I should go do my job. But, yeah. And, like, that wasn't even the weekend. That was a Monday. Today's Tuesday. Like... Oh. There was so much ore. See, if I needed ore, I wouldn't be able to find it all. Well, how much we got? We got 8 so far. I don't think I need anything from the undergrove, so I think if we do another trip down to the mine, it'll be another one into the top level. It's so much easier when you don't have to stop for all the ore, and you just gotta search out treasure rooms and such. Especially when it's in peaceful mode. I don't see anything. Should we, like, come over here, maybe? And, like, the reason I'm so upset is because there's literally a workplace health and safety officer. Or there's actually 8 from what Connor told me. There's 8 of them. And their whole job is to just deal with workplace problems and the safetiness, you know, the safeness of the workplace. And deal with whatever injuries come along. And what do you call it? Treating them, I guess? Ooh, another one. Nice. Oh, I wasn't far off. So, in the town we live in, we can't get doctors because we're rural. And so, he did initially go to our local hospital and they went, we can't treat this because we don't have a doctor. Our actual hospital. Now, we're not a small town. We've got, like... I think we've got a good... Hang on, I'm just going to Google it. Because I'll probably get it wrong. There's 10,000 people just in the town I live in. 10,000 people, and we don't have a emergency doctor. You know, and like this guy shattered his finger at work, and so they sent him to the hospital to get it fixed that night. And they're like, yeah, we can't do anything about this. You're gonna have to go to Brisbane, which, like I said, is 3 hours away. It's not like it's just oh, you just go an hour, half an hour. You know what I mean? It's 3 hours of driving. That's a straight 3 hours. But, like... so they sent us down to Brisbane for this. And the people who are paid, literally paid to do this as their job, just didn't want to deal with it. So they sent Connor instead, who is an admin. He's an admin worker. So it's so far out of his job purview that it's ridiculous. I don't know, I get really annoyed when my husband gets taken advantage of, and he gets taken advantage of a lot because he's really easygoing. Ooh. I'm gonna pick that up. And it's not even that he doesn't have a backbone, he just goes, oh yeah, I can do that, you know? He's just easygoing. And oh my gosh. Even my mum, because I was texting her, because I always let my mum know if we're leaving town for any reason. Because I don't want to be... It's one of those situations where I always try and think of like the worst case. And if something were to happen along the drive, and my parents had to get that phone call, you know, I would want them to not be completely shocked that we weren't even in town. You know what I'm saying? So I kind of like go, hey mom, I'm going out of town we should be back by this time. We're leaving at this time. You know, you don't have to worry about looking after our cats. We're not going overnight or anything. And, so she texts me at like, I think it was like 2:30 or something. She's like, how's it going? And I went, yeah, we're here, still. Hello? And yeah, I'm exhausted. Because we went there when it was just starting the day, and we came back when most of the town is asleep. And like I said, there's over 10,000 people as of the last census living in this town, and we can't keep a doctor because there is nothing to do in our town, so no one wants to come here. Like, they have so many people in the cities, but no one wants to live in the middle of butt-fuck nowhere. And like, okay, so our town is like the central hub of the entire region, if that makes sense. So we're like the biggest town under the council that we're sitting under. I don't really want to give away where I live, so that's why I'm trying to be very specific in what I say. Oh, there's a thingy right here. Oh no, that's one I already went to. Okay. So it's not like we're just a little, like, drive-through, everything's on the main street town. You know what I mean? We're a pretty substantial town. We have 10,000 people. The houses here, like the housing estates, we have like 40 housing estate areas, you know, including like the original areas of the town. But we can't get doctors in. Oh, and on top of that, our hospital had a major upgrade. Like, I'm talking, it looks like a giant city's hospital. You know, all flashy on the outside. And we have no doctors. Nice. Oh, and on top of that, we have an aging population. So, yeah. Like, I think, so I've lived here 8 years now. Yeah, 8 years. And even when I moved up here, I went to try and get into a doctor here. So for 8 years, it's been this bad. But we always had doctors at the hospital to, you know, if you needed to go for emergency, there was always, you'd have to wait a while because everyone would go there. But you could go and see a doctor there. And so when I tried to sign up for a doctor, they're like, oh, there's no one in town that will take you. None of the doctors in town are accepting new patients. And I was like, that's really odd. But I accepted that because it's like, okay, sure. Because I know it is an aging population, and so it makes sense that they're kind of full up. Let's just put it that way, you know? Old people kind of need the doctors more than young people. Where'd I leave it? Oh, there it is. And, so I drive 20 minutes out of town to a different town, to see a doctor. And because they take new patients. So that, and like most people in this town go to that doctor because no doctors in this town take new patients. So, because even Connor, he was born and raised in this town, and he goes to the one where I go, which is kind of like, what? Anyway. So there's that. And then in my time, they've opened at least one other doctor's surgery here, and it closed down within a year and a half, I think, because they just couldn't get the doctors to come out here to see to patients. So yeah. So that's the whole reason we had to drive 3 hours. Because there's no doctors in the emergency rooms. There's no GPs that will take them. The major city that's closer refuses to take the patients from where my husband works. Like the workers, when they have problems, don't know why, they just do. You know, I've never heard of a hospital being able to refuse people who are injured, but, you know, whatever. Because that would have shaved off a whole hour out of the trip, you know? And so it would have been still a day trip, but it wouldn't have been an entirely unknown region to us, you know? Because I went for my operation there not last week, 2 weeks ago. So we'd been there recently, we've been there pretty often, we would have been able to navigate it, instead of going all the way into Brisbane, where Brisbane changes a lot, considering I haven't been there in 8 years, so. Australia needs help. Australia needs serious help. They keep telling us that they're importing all these immigrants because we need, Sarah, yes it is, nice. We need doctors and all that, you know, qualified people, because Australians are not going into those professions. But I'm still not seeing how importing all those people is helping us in the rural areas, because you know, this story is proof that we have all these people who've come in the last, I don't know, at least 10 years, you know? 10 years that I've been tracking the situation in Australia deteriorating. 10 years that I've been looking at the stats and everything. And they're like, oh, we need them because we need qualified workers and Australians aren't going into these jobs, all this type of stuff. And so I was like, okay, sure. But, like, if you're supposedly importing all these doctors who want to come here and big doctors, where are they? Because I sure am not seeing them. Like, my mum has breast cancer. And she has to drive 2 hours each way to see a doctor or a specialist or anyone. Like, she's got a doctor in town. Because they were lucky when they noticed one of the doctors was like, "Quit taking patients," because they got another doctor out here. It's one of the only times that that's happened, by the way. But they got a doctor out here, and my parents were like, "Quick!" So they've got a doctor that's just up the road for like all their general medical needs. Oh. That's... what? Oh, I'm an idiot. I just wasted keys. I should trust my... man, I'm an idiot. That's okay. Go back up. See, we only used one. That's pretty good. I need to buy... oh, it's too late. I should have gone up before 6. Keys back. Good thing I did take those keys, because I found so many of them in the treasure rooms, eh? That one isn't... it's just this one then? Yeah, just one. Okay. We'll charge that and sell it. But like, she has to drive 2 hours to get any of her specialized appointments and stuff. Why does it look like that? It's weird. I don't really think it's too much to ask for that we get some doctors in our emergency room, you know? I don't think that's too big of an ask. Not exactly asking for something revolutionary. And you know what else really bugs me? Now, because I've had a lot to do with hospitals and doctors recently, I've noticed that in some places they're very condescending when it comes to their patients asking very basic questions. You know, like, why has it been pushed back? He's saying it could be 6 o'clock. Why has it been pushed back? Oh, well, you know, we're attached to 2 different hospitals here, and they've had an emergency. So, there's nothing really I can do about it. Okay. Condescending much? Like, we weren't even, like, in her face. We were just like, dude, if he's staying till 6, we have to call up Connor's work and be like, you better be paying us all this overtime because this is not what you said. They said, oh, it's only going to be, you know, it'll only be for like a normal shift. You won't have to work overtime or anything because it'll just... oh, for crying out loud, guys. Can you get... what the heck? You know, oh, it's not going to be overtime or anything because you're just going for a procedure that's only going to take 10 minutes. And we're like, yeah, okay. So we gave ourselves like, what is going on? We're like, okay, let's give the procedure at least half an hour and then maybe another half an hour for him to come to. Because when I came to, they were rushing me out so quick. So I went in like 9:30 was when they started taking me in and putting the catheter in and stuff. No, actually. No, I think 9:30 was when they actually came to get me. That's right. And then I woke up. And I want to say it was like 11. So my procedure was supposed to take at most an hour if they had to remove, without going into details. So I was only under for an hour, and then from the minute I like opened my eyes, they were trying to get me out because they were having like a really overrun day and all that. So it's kind of funny that a procedure that's supposed to take 10 minutes, it took them... Oh my gosh. Yeah, it took them 2 hours. Because we, so we walked across the river, and then it came back, and then we're like, oh, how long is it going to take? We just need to talk to Connor's boss and, you know, make sure that he's going to get paid for this. Because there was no way we were going to be home in the allotted hours they'd given him. And I said, they're not paying you for this. We wouldn't be down here otherwise. And all this stuff. And he's like, don't worry, they'll pay me or else I'm going to leave. And I'm like, yeah, that's fair. And because like this is not new. Connor's been there he's been there 5 years. And it's just always this. So it's kind of like a constant thing. And because he's the only one earning money, I can't just say to him, quit, and we'll just make do, you know? But that's kind of why I'm going back to work, because I want to be able to push him out of that job, because it's ridiculous. Yeah, so at 2 o'clock, we spoke to the lady, and she went, yeah, I'll have to, you know, talk to them. So we went down to the car, put some stuff in the car, came back up. And then another hour passed, and we went, look, have you heard anything yet? Because we haven't eaten. We didn't eat breakfast, we just left, you know? Because we didn't want to be mean and get something on the way when he's fasting. So we didn't eat breakfast, we just went. And so it's now 3 o'clock, and we haven't eaten anything since 6 p.m. No, wait, since 8... like 9 o'clock the previous night, because that's when we had dinner. We had a late dinner, that's right. So, it's been however many hours that is since we've eaten. I think we grabbed a drink and that was it on our way back. Because we were waiting for lunch for him, because we're like, well, you know, we'll get lunch with him and be like, what do you want? And go from there. 3 o'clock, we're like, we really want to go and have some lunch because we haven't eaten all day. And she's like, okay, well, you go have lunch and I'll call up and find out what's going on. While you're eating, you know. So we just went downstairs to a Subway that was outside the hospital. And ate our lunch and then went back up. And she's like, they've just taken him in. And we're like, oh, thank goodness. So this is 3:30. We're like, thank goodness, it should be 10 minutes and then he'll be out. We'll be leaving like 4 o'clock-ish. This is going to be great. No. 5:30. And like I said, we were expecting to be home at 5. Like by 5 o'clock. Because 12:30 was his booking. Like, it was an appointment. It wasn't a walk-in. They booked him in at that time. Oh. But because he was like a non-emergency, they put the emergency first, you know? Because, duh. We were more mad at... Because, like, obviously I've been around the hospital system my entire life. I understand that you can't predict an emergency happening. That's why it's called an emergency. So, like, that's not what we're angry about. We're angry about that we had to go at all. And on top of that, they refused to pay for any food for us. They told us that, oh, you'll have to pay for your own for your own food and drinks and stuff. You'll pay for that yourself. We will pay you for the day. We'll pay for the fuel, but you can't buy it. The guy who went down for the operation, he has to pay for it, and they'll reimburse him. Which, what? They wouldn't give us like a company card or anything, of course. And they didn't say anything about paying for the parking because you have to pay for parking in a hospital. And like instead of it being like maybe we would have paid the first amount, it devolved into. It wasn't even like the amount. It's just like we had an idea of how the day was going to go, and it did not go that way. And that's what annoys us. And it's not even because our perception was wrong. It was because there was literally no way we could have known that they were going to push it all the way back by 3 hours. But I'm going to go and see Sheila before I make myself angry. At this point, we kind of just get, like, resigned that that's how we get treated. And, like, it's not even, like, me. It's more like I'm an extension of Connor, you know? And so, as a result, I'm not going to let him go down there. Because if I had stayed home, I would have been walking up to his workplace and been like, you guys need to get your act together because this is ridiculous. Because it is. It's really ridiculous. Alright, I need to prepare for the trip to the island. I need to stop yapping. I just wanted to tell you guys about my day yesterday. That was so fun. Oh, is that what that noise is? Oh. Oh, he must have been going after the kanga. Poor kanga. Good thing you got in a trap though, huh? I thought I heard the mailbox. That's what that ticking was, but no, it was a kangaroo stuck in the trap. Alrighty guys, we're going to leave it there for today. I'm going to go and clear out my inventory. And I'll see you next time.